Okay, so the rankings finished, what, 10, 20 minutes ago?
Not even 20 minutes.
Yeah, not even 20 minutes ago. And it was an eventful night for rankings. I don't know how excited you can get about rankings. Shocking. But it was crazy. It was crazy. Like, okay, so we're gonna talk about. We're not gonna talk about the whole rankings.
Are you more frustrated, or are you more shocked?
That's why I got these little key points I wrote down. I'm frustrated for certain teams, but I'm shocked for other teams. So I guess we'll talk about the rankings first, and we told y'all we'll make our own top 6, which we did separately. Yes, and we'll go over our top 6 after on how we think it should have been fixed in the top 6, and then right after we talk about it, obviously. So we're not going to talk about all 1 through 25 because that would be an hour, probably long episode of this. We'll just talk about key points. So the first thing I noticed was Baylor jumped over Auburn and Texas A&M. I think Auburn's a better team than Baylor. I don't think that should have happened, honestly. I'm sure you probably agree with me on that one. Especially after a 7-point win against Texas, after Auburn just beat one of the top offenses in the nation by 11. So, whoever says what, Auburn and Texas A&M play, whichever team will obviously jump Baylor, whoever wins. But another drop was Notre Dame dropping from 8 to 10, wasn't it? They dropped from 8 to 10, which was weird because Wake Forest jumped Notre Dame to 9. So Notre Dame fell from 8 to 10, and Wake Forest jumped from 10 to 9, I think it was. I think that's what they are on the AP poll. I don't got the AP poll pulled up, so I can't really give accurate on that. That's when we get to our first shock. I wish I had the live broadcast on what you said whenever we was on the phone. You was like, oh my God. Oh my God. Oklahoma is 8. Now look. I this is what I wanted to say. This is the key. This is one of the key things I had written down for Oklahoma. I'm not frustrated for Oklahoma. I'm shocked, and it's more of. I did say that I didn't believe they were a top 10 team for the rest of the whole season. I told you that until they started Caleb Williams. I do feel like this team deserves to be top 7. No, I wouldn't even say top 7. I'll say top 5 at least. They were ranked. They're ranked 4, weren't they? They're ranked 4, yeah.
Yeah,
and they dropped to 8.
I think what we got to look at now at the committee as a whole is they're definitely tuning into these games. They're definitely interested in seeing how you're playing. Like the fact that they moved Cincinnati out of the top 4 completely was probably actually it's not even the craziest thing. The craziest thing is Oregon being at 4. But I think what killed Cincinnati.
God. No, I don't even think that's the craziest thing, honestly. But we'll get to it.
That's the craziest thing? Oregon.
I think the craziest thing is Cincinnati for no reason got dropped.
Cincinnati at 6 is. I told you.
I mean, we both know this is okay. This is we're going to explain the college football playoff for people who don't watch college football, which is probably nobody on here doesn't watch college football. But the college football playoff rankings. That makes them different from the AP polls. Obviously, the playoff rankings matter. They're gonna determine if you get in the playoff or not. But it's also it's strength of schedule. It's basically it's not more of a power ranking, but power ranking goes into it. That is why Oklahoma dropped down to 8. That is probably why they dropped Cincinnati down to 6. And that's probably not why they moved up Oregon up to 4, because I don't understand the power of that. But
I don't understand.
We'll get to that in a second after we're done talking about Oklahoma at 8. Oh my goodness. It's just weird. I understand that what I said in that video, and a lot of people were conning me in the comments without obviously watching the full video, which is completely understandable. If you hear something you don't like, you're obviously going to leave the video, but you should really go back and check it out. I said that y'all deserve to be where y'all is at. Y'all deserve an 8-0 record, or now it's 9-0. And Caleb Williams has made y'all one of the most dominant teams in the nation with offense-wise. And dropping to 8, I just don't understand it, because they were ranked 4, and seeing the teams that are in front of them, especially a team that just lost a game last week in Michigan being in front of them, don't understand it at all. I'm gonna be honest, I just don't understand it.
Well, I think the respect will come when they play Baylor this week, or next week. They're on a bye week this week, but I'm actually completely shook about this Oklahoma thing, because I thought at lowest Oklahoma would be maybe 5, or I thought lowest 6.
I
thought they'd be 3. I didn't think they'd be out of the top 4, but I mean, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, when you look at Oklahoma, I don't see them right now as a top 4 team in the nation. I will see them probably there as they go on. Like I said, they got 3 good games coming up after this bye week. They'll be healthy. Caleb Williams will get some time to practice. They travel to Baylor, they face Iowa State, and then they travel to play Oklahoma State. And Oklahoma State's looking really good this year. But dude, I think Oklahoma's a good team, and I think even if Oklahoma wins out and they win the Big 12, respectfully, I don't think they make the playoffs. If the committee see them as the number 8th ranked team, I think winning the Big 12, I respectfully don't think that'll get them in the top 4. I just don't, because you got to look at the top 4 right now as it is, because now there's a problem, because you got Georgia, you got Bama. Now, let's hypothetically, let's say, okay, let's go here, right? I'm sure Michigan or Ohio State will not be in the top 6 at the end of the season. Cincinnati has a very high chance. Oregon has a very high chance. And Alabama will probably be somewhere around 7 if let's say they lose to Georgia, right? Then Oklahoma moves up, but you got to think Michigan State or Ohio State, one of these teams are getting into the playoffs. And Oregon, I mean,
and they got their game coming up here soon.
Michigan State's got some good games. Oregon owns the Pac-12. You know, remember what I told you earlier in the season is that there's little games you got to watch out for where Oregon just doesn't show up. And we talk about their offense all the time, and their offense does not look to be up par, but that defense is dangerous. They can make some plays, and they force a lot of turnovers, and it starts with potential first overall pick Kayvon Thibodeau. But I think right now they got Oregon over Ohio State because of that head-to-head win when Oregon traveled to Buckeye Stadium and beat them. But I just don't understand how you drop Cincinnati to 6 because of their last 2 weeks when Oregon hasn't played, I feel like, a complete game since Ohio State. And they did that with injuries. You know, all respect to Oregon. I think if they win out the Pac-12, it's impressive that they'll make the playoffs. But right now, Oregon is not a top 4 team in the nation. I just don't see how the committee can see how the committee views that.
I don't understand how they got moved up to 4 after a 30-point win to Colorado, for one. And I'm not even trying to disrespect Colorado. It's just I don't understand it. But number 2, you know, they were ranked 7th in the nation, and they jumped Ohio State. They jumped Ohio State and Oklahoma technically, and Cincinnati, because all those teams fell below them. I really don't understand it. And okay, so I said I was shocked about Oklahoma and moving up to 7, which I don't understand. I mean, in the AP poll, they fell down to 9 after their loss to Michigan State, but I don't understand them falling down only 1 spot after a loss to Michigan State. I understand it was a good team they lost to. Completely understand it. I understand why they didn't move far. I'm shocked that they didn't, you know, because you got Oklahoma, who's undefeated with a great team right behind them. And I'm going to be honest with you, Wake Forest does not have a good resume this season. We're keeping it at $150. They do got a good offense. That's all we know.
But they also allowed 56 points to a triple option offense.
Exactly. So I can understand not putting Wake Forest in front of Michigan, but Oklahoma being behind Michigan after Michigan just lost is just crazy to me. That's where I get frustrated, is that Michigan didn't fall really at all. They went down 1 spot. And then another frustration I have is with Cincinnati, is they've been shown no respect. They've beat the number 10 team in the nation right now. They're the only team that has beat that number 10 team nation right now. And you move them down to 6, which is crazy, because no other team has been able to beat the number 10 team that the number 10 team has played, and that being Notre Dame. And go ahead.
I'm looking at Oregon again. I know it's getting a little bit off, but besides Colorado and an FBS team, and I guess you could say Arizona, which I believe that was a slow start for them. They pulled it out, but I think I remember that was kind of a slow game. They've won every game by 7 or less. And that's just where I'm getting. I think so. How do you drop Cincinnati because of I guess Navy made it a close game? How do you drop Cincinnati to 6, but Oregon sits at 4 for a win in week 2,
a bunch of single-digit wins?
Digressed. You can't tell me right now if Oregon and Ohio State faced again that you think Oregon stands a chance to win that game. Because Ohio State has become
all.
a very much more dominant team since week 2.
I'm gonna be honest. If this was a power ranking, Ohio State would be in the top 3. If it was a power ranking, it's top 3. So I can understand why they did stay at 5 because they haven't really. Ohio State really hasn't played anybody other than Oregon. They're about to play all of their good teams. Actually, they just played Penn State. Let me take that back. But they're about to play all their teams, as in Michigan and Michigan State. They're about to play both of them here in the next couple weeks. So this is really going to change up a lot. Like, you got 3 Big Ten teams at 3, 5, and 7 that could jump into the playoff with just 2 wins. You know what I'm saying? So it's a weird ranking, mainly because it all comes back to Oregon. Oregon should not have jumped up that high. I expected Michigan State to. We were on the phone and you were like, who's left? And then I was like, Michigan State could probably jump because they just beat the number 6 team in the nation. It's probably, they just probably threw them up there because they did just beat Michigan. And, it happened, which wasn't really that surprising. Me and you both said Georgia, Bama 2. Or Georgia, Bama 1 and 2. That was obvious. I think I said, who did I say 3? Did I say Oklahoma? And then Ohio State at 5, Cincinnati at, or Ohio State at 4, Cincinnati at 5. That was me projecting on what they were going to do. That's not my ranking. But that was what I was projecting them to do. And what they came out, whenever you said, whenever it was in the top 4, because they show it 1, 2, they show 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 instead of 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. It doesn't make any sense. But whenever they got to, I think it was 3, you said Oregon's left. And then Oregon came out as the 4th team. And that was just crazy because they put them in front of Ohio State. I understand they beat them, but Ohio State is obviously a better team. Like, that's where the power ranking comes in for me for the playoff. Yeah. Ohio State's obviously a better team than Oregon. And then you put them in front of Cincinnati, which I'm going to be honest, if Cincinnati and Oregon played right now, Cincinnati would win by at least 14 points. I'm keeping it real. I'm not saying that Oregon's a bad team. It's just that Oregon was, I'm not going to say carried, but a lot of their offense was CJ Verdell. And I'm not saying their offense hasn't stepped up since his injury, but that's where they were actually like a good top 3 team. Like, they were ranked 3rd overall.
They've definitely improved, and I want to say I will give them benefit of the doubt because it's not easy losing your big piece on offense. Yeah. But I mean, they could be Clemson right now for being realistic. You know what I'm saying? But like, it's. I don't know, man.
Another thing is they
don't have CJ Verdell.
They lost to unranked Stanford. And I'm not even trying to say that Oregon should not even be ranked this high, but it's crazy how they've jumped people that have just proven to be a better team. And that's when I think you divide the wins and losses with power ranking. Because, I mean, yes, Ohio State and Oregon are both 7-1. Yes, Oregon did beat Ohio State. But Oregon also lost to unranked Stanford. Which loss is worse? At the time, a number 3 team in the nation or an unranked team? Let's be honest. And then at that, Cincinnati fell too, which is, I mean, it was expected just because the committee shows Group of 5 no love, honestly, if we're all being honest. That was expected. But still, I mean, Cincinnati hasn't lost. And like I said, they beat the number 10 team. I don't even know what Notre Dame was ranked when they played. I think they were ranked 8th or 9th or something like that. And, Cincinnati beat them. And now they're ranked 10. So you're telling me that the team that has just beat the number 10 team in there. Okay, this is why I'm so confused by it. Michigan State just beat the 6th team in the nation and jumped a bunch of people to get into the top 3, right?
Yeah.
So then now you have Cincinnati, who has beat a team that has constantly been in the top 10 the whole season, and they get dropped down 4 spots. And you also have Ohio State, who just beat a ranked team in Penn State. Granted, they aren't the best ranked team. They were in the 20s, but they're still a ranked team in the nation. And they don't even move. They moved up 1. I'm sorry. They were 6 in the AP poll. They moved up 1. And Oregon jumps all those teams to go to 4. And we're not even going to exclude Oklahoma, who's 9-0 and looks like one of the best teams in the nation with Caleb Williams under center. This is really confusing to me. Let's go ahead and get into our rankings so we can talk about our rankings and how it should have been fixed. So gotcha. We're gonna go 6-1, or you want to go? We'll go 1-6 because 1 and 2 is obvious, or not obvious, but 1 and 2 is like, it should be normal. All right, so 1 through 6. Oh no. Okay, hold on. I have one more team I want to talk about. UTSA being unranked now after being 16 in the AP poll this legit a couple days ago it doesn't make any sense. They're undefeated. They've been playing good all season. it just doesn't make any sense. I wanted to show
really
some love to
UTSA. They don't scare me when it comes to any top 10 team. So, or
I'm not saying it because I should feel threatened to them.
No disrespect though. I got them on my parlay this week, so UTSA don't let me down.
That's what I'm saying. Need them to pull out the dub against UTEP.
Yeah.
Okay, so number 1, both got Georgia, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so I was going to explain it, but there's no reason. Georgia's number 1, obviously. If you don't have Georgia as number 1 in your playoff rankings,
offensive problems. Stetson Bennett's not the answer.
Problems.
Kirby has a brick for a brain when it comes to quarterbacks, but he knows what he's doing with that defense. Him and Dan Lannon are cooking it up. And this is what I told you. What did I tell you about Georgia getting me upset? I said both sides of the ball have to just play bad. And I don't see that happening. If one side's doing bad, you better hope that other side's doing bad as well. And your best bet is that one week our defense doesn't show up, because I feel like if our defense wasn't putting the weight of the team on their back, we would have some losses.
And that's the thing is
close.
I heard someone say something. I forget who it was. It was someone on YouTube. They said if the offense doesn't go and score, when the defense goes on the field, they feel like they have to be perfect. So that puts a lot of pressure on them to perform bad, which the fact that Georgia's defense didn't break after Georgia putting up nothing except for 3 points through the first half, and then putting 21 straight points basically on the board. They gave the ball to the Georgia offense twice. It's just, it's crazy how the defense can play like that. But, we got Georgia at number 1, undefeated. It was expected. So I feel like this is where mine is different. Who you got at number 2?
Number 2, I got Bama.
I got Cincinnati. I feel like they.
God.
I feel like I just went over why I think they should be. I don't know about like. Look, I just went over why they should still stay in the top 4, and I see no reason for them to fall. I understand Bama could be a better team, and if I could split 2 into 2A and 2B, I'd put Bama at 2 as well. But that obviously gave it away.
I want to see who your number 3 is then, because I want you. You got to think we're talking head to head here, right? We're putting head to head into aspect.
I'm not putting 1 through 4 as in I'm scheduling these matchups. I'm putting 1 through 4 as in who are the top 4 best teams, and it's 1
That's
Georgia,
what I've got, doing the same
2
thing.
Cincinnati, Bama's 3.
Okay. You got Bama. So you got Bama at 3.
Yeah.
Why?
What have they done to move past Cincinnati this past week?
Respectfully, it's Bama. I think they've earned a lot of clout to get back. They've had a slow start against Tennessee. Respectfully, I really think it's Georgia and everyone else right now. If I was afraid of anyone, it'd be Ohio State, but I think it's kind of disrespect. I think it'd be weird to put Ohio State at number 2, which I was gonna do, but it's just
that's where you got to divide the schedule rankings and power rankings.
So I put them at 3. And Ohio State right now, they just look like those guys, man. I think right now, if I'm a UGA fan, a team I'm the most scared of is Ohio State. I think we could stun Bama pretty goodly, and I'm not saying stun because it wouldn't be an upset, but I think we could make some real noise when we play Bama. I think we have to, and I'm gonna say this right here on the podcast, but I think Bama's gonna have some trouble when they visit Jordan Hare later this year. And I know that might sound crazy.
I think, bro, we joked about it, but I think Auburn can really win out. I really do. They are on our parlay too.
I'm telling you,
they are on our parlay too.
If we've seen the teams that Auburn has beat with Bama, I think they can handle this Bama roster. Auburn has gotten very good since the earlier parts of the season. Don't forget, first year head coach. So they're just putting that chemistry. They're putting it all together, and I think he's starting to figure it out. Sadly, he had to face Georgia, but. Yeah, they're putting some things together. I've been high on Auburn all season, and they haven't failed me yet. And that win against Ole Miss, that's just one of the.
That was a really good win. That was a really good win.
That win against Ole Miss and Arkansas, those are just 2 of the candles that I feel like they're gonna get this season. Brian Harson's he's working some wonders.
You got Georgia, Bama, Ohio State, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I got Georgia, Cincinnati, Bama. You've already heard Bama from me. 4th, I feel like it was. I kind of predicted it in real life. I think it's justified. Michigan State. And I know you're gonna look at me weird. I know you're gonna think differently. This is why. I'm gonna explain it. They are what? How many games they played? They played 8 or 9. 8. So they're 8-0. They just beat the number 6 team in the nation. They haven't lost, and even when their Heisman candidate running back had a 94-yard game, which is unnormal to him somehow, is to have a 94-yard game, they have still figured out ways to win. Their passing game has stepped up. In the Michigan game, they were down by, it was like, I think it was, what was it? I forget what it was. It was like 21-7 or something like that. 21. It was Michigan was steamrolling them at one point in the game. And Michigan State came back, won the game, had a pick to seal the game. And I just think, I'm not saying that they're more powerful than Ohio State. I just think they're more deserving of the number 4 spot, being honest.
Well, Michigan State and Michigan scare me because I right now I really don't feel like any of them have neither one has really shown me some true identity yet. Don't get me wrong, this is a top 10 matchup. You expect them to equal out each other, and what Michigan did with Michigan State was very impressive, but I want to see some defense from Mel Tucker. You know, we know this is his specialty, so I want to see him turn that up. But you talk about their passing game. This had nothing to do with Thorne because he played horrible. This had everything to do with Kenneth Walker walking into their end zone 5 times. They couldn't stop him, and I will say the Michigan State defense stepped up late in the game because they made some very clutch plays. So Mel Tucker's got something cooking in Michigan, but will he be there next year? LSU, quote unquote.
Yeah, everybody's saying he's going to LSU. I don't know.
Everyone.
Who you got at 4? You got Georgia, Bama, Ohio State, and then who's at 4?
4 is Cincinnati for me.
Okay.
So I have to cut Oklahoma out. Cincinnati, you're right. They're 8-0. They're winning. Their defense is world class. Now, one thing I won't sleep on is their defense. I think their offense will get stunned when we make the playoffs. Because I don't think they have the offense to outscore any of these teams. Respectfully, I think they could head to head. If we're gonna put them against Oregon, they would head to head. I think they'd defeat Oregon because their defense is world class, and Anthony Brown would be looking over his shoulders. I don't think he'd have a real opportunity there. But yeah, Cincinnati's defense is world class, and that's not what I'm worried about. I know their offense is Desmond Ritter's working some wonders, but overall, if they get latched up against Georgia or Bama, and I know that everyone talks about how they barely lost to Georgia last year, or respectfully, just understand you don't want to see Georgia with their complete full roster. And I know Cincinnati didn't have their full roster, but I'm talking about a Georgia team with all the motivation. You don't want to see it. So respectfully, I want to put Cincinnati in here, but that win against Notre Dame, it doesn't make me blink, or it doesn't make me excited, because one, I don't think Notre Dame's a contender at all either. And as a matter of fact, there's only like 3 in the nation, or 2 maybe. And the second, there's one is Georgia, and then you have either Bama to me or Ohio State. The rest of these guys, what are we doing? What are these guys? How dangerous are you as a team? And I want to see Cincinnati head to head with one of these great ones. But everybody talks about Cincinnati, SMU. Cool. Cincinnati will be undefeated at the end of the season. Let's just hope the committee gives them some respect. Put them in the playoffs if they go undefeated. You can't hold them out. You can't disrespect them 2 years in a row. If they're undefeated, they got to get in.
You got Georgia, Bama, Ohio State, Cincinnati.
Yep.
I got Georgia, Cincinnati, Bama, Michigan State. Then Ohio State comes in at 5. They obviously just beat Penn State. Great win for them. I just didn't think it was a better win than Michigan State's win. That's the only reason why I didn't move them up. I think they are a playoff team. I think they are one of the most dangerous teams in the country. We've talked about it. We honestly were praying that Penn State beat them, not because we're praying on Ohio State's downfall. It's just because we don't want to play them.
Don't want to see them.
Honestly, if they get in the playoff, I'd rather them be at 3 or 2, just because at least we'll make it to the national championship if we play a bad team at 4. But yeah, Ohio State's at 5. They just missing out this week. They'll probably honestly be in it next week if we're being honest. But right now, they're at 5 for me, honestly.
5 for me is Oklahoma. Oklahoma, shaky start to the season, struggled against Tulane. They struggled against Nebraska, West Virginia. Everybody, my dude. They were down 28-7 to Texas.
They struggled against everybody until Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams comes in and gets it going with that relentless energy. But Oklahoma's getting really good, man, with Caleb Williams, and I mean, this is a guy that almost went to Georgia. Remember, we were in the lead for him for a little bit, but we got Brock, and we said, all right, y'all can have Caleb Williams. It's funny because Brock was committed to Oklahoma, and then switched from Oklahoma to Georgia, and then Caleb switched from Georgia favorite to Oklahoma. How crazy is that? So Lincoln Riley,
it was like in the same couple days too.
It was like in a few days. So Lincoln Riley and Kirby Smart playing mind game. They're like, let's make a trade. But Oklahoma's getting really good, man. If their offense can get dynamic, I mean, you look at Georgia. I think right now the scariest thing that Georgia doesn't want to see is an offense that is completely electric, and Oklahoma has a chance to do that. Now, remember we faced Oklahoma in 2017. That offense was electric. Georgia found a way to win it, not with defense, but by battling back on offense. Something that's the only time Georgia has done that, when they faced an electric offense. But Georgia's defense is world class this year. I still don't think you want to see an electric defense. You want to see an offense who can score good points, but against a good defense that's blocking up the field, they've got nothing to do. And that's sick Oklahoma right now. They're still trying to get to electric status. They did great against Texas Tech, 52 points. I want to see their defense improve to how they were last year, because right now they're just not it. They're still getting better. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt.
So you got Oklahoma at 5. I got them at 6, just because I understand that I said that they are a top 4 team in power, but like I said, I've seen the lowest that they can go is 6, and I put them at 6. I do think they're a great team. I just think the teams ahead of them have earned their spot. I guess it's really at this point it's just who's earning their spot at the lower parts, and I think this is where I can't put them out of the top 6. I couldn't find a way to put them in the top 4, so I put them at 6. Honestly, I didn't think that. I think Ohio State's a better team than them right now. I don't think Michigan State's a better team than Ohio State or Oklahoma. It's just Michigan State has earned their spot. Bama's obviously a better team than them. Cincinnati has just earned their spot there, and Georgia's Georgia this year. I don't know what Georgia got in their veins this year, but they got something different. But
they got that relentless energy.
Like you said, I think the main reason why I just couldn't put them ahead is just their whole season has been single-digit wins, and I understand it's not Caleb Williams' fault, and that's really like they were starting Spencer Rattler, so it was shaky, but you can't just look away from that. They're a team. Yeah. It's not a single player game. It's a team game, and they could have put Caleb in week 1 or week 2. So that's on coaching, I guess.
To put them in week 2. I mean, they won 76.
Exactly. So I mean, there's no reason for they should have changed, but then again, there's all those single-digit wins, and we just talked about that with Oregon. So I mean, I shouldn't hold a vendetta against Oregon if I'm not gonna keep the same with Oklahoma. Those single-digit wins are gonna hurt you at the end of the season when it comes to playoff. I think they're gonna make the playoff. But
I mean, these are single-digit wins, but 3 of these single-digit wins contain them scoring 50-plus points. Oregon, none of those single-digit wins for Oregon have 50-plus points.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
That's where I'm looking at. I'm looking at the fact that we know Oklahoma has a good offense. Their defense is not that good, but their offense is still building chemistry with Caleb Williams. They're still shaky. They struggled against Kansas. You can't do that. You respectfully cannot struggle against Kansas.
I'm gonna be honest, Caleb Williams, that fourth down play saved him when he stole the ball from the running back and just took it himself. That was a goated play. But
Caleb, so explain the offense. It's me.
It's me.
I'm
here.
I'm the offense. Yeah, I do it all. You told me you're 6. My 6 is Michigan State. I got Michigan State at 6.
Yeah, I expected.
I want to put them at 5, but as of right now, I just think Mel Tucker needs to get that defense in order. You get a defense cooking there, now Michigan State's a threat, but I see Michigan, the way Michigan was able to score and move the ball on them, Michigan State's defense did step up. I think Mel Tucker will have to have a great game plan when he faces a team like Ohio State, and so I can pull up their schedule for the rest of the season and see what it's looking like, because I think it was Indiana who was facing everyone, and when you look at Michigan State, they got to face an Illinois team. Oh wait, no, this isn't updated. They face, let's see, we got Iowa, Purdue, Ohio State, and Maryland. Okay, so they've got 3 good games here. Dude, Ohio State they play Michigan, and then they play Michigan State, then they face Michigan the next week. So Michigan State's got a
tough road ahead of them.
Yeah, they've got a good little stretch here.
I think after those weeks, they're definitely gonna jump in the top 4, 100%. To be honest, I see them winning those games.
Yeah, I'm big capping, by the way. That was the basketball team. I'm on ESPN.
Goodness.
I try to pull. I'm on ESPN. I try to pull up the schedule, so I got to pull up their basketball.
I mean, it was slick the same as Purdue, Maryland, Ohio State, and Penn State. I think it was at the end.
Gotcha.
But Ohio State, they got what's it called? They got Michigan State and Michigan coming up. They got Nebraska, Purdue in the final 2 games, or Michigan State and then Michigan.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, you just said that with some wins there could be 3 Big Ten teams or something. No, I said we're about to figure out.
I said these last couple weeks are going to decide which one out of the 3 Big Ten teams is going to make it.
I mean, that story goes for everybody. I mean,
but I'm just saying for in general for the Big Ten, you know, the Big Ten is usually just Ohio State.
This is that stretch of the season where you look at the teams and you go, all right, let's see what you got.
Exactly.
Head to head.
Especially with the rivalry week, except for, Georgia. Yeah. We got to play them Yeller Jackets,
Come on, man. Don't disrespect Georgia Tech. We winning by 30, but, shouts out Georgia Tech, man. Thank you for not being, not getting your team better. Easy game for us every year. We'll take it. Easy dub right before the SEC championship game. Get some of those third string guys in there. Might even see Brock come in. Who knows? Take a few snaps. Shouts out Georgia Tech, man. Shouts out the city of Atlanta.
Ohio State has the 6th passing offense and the 4th scoring offense. It's crazy. And the 30th rush offense. They have a great offense.
I think Mel Tucker can possibly stun them. But respectfully, it's not gonna happen.
I'm gonna be a little bit of a troll right now. How you feel about Cincinnati and Tulsa getting game day over Auburn and Texas A&M? Yeah, I think Tulsa's 3-5. I think Tulsa's 3-5.
I mean, I think Cincinnati deserves it. I mean, come on, dude. How many games in a row have they won?
I think Cincinnati should have went. I think they should have went to Cincinnati SMU though. For being real here.
Yeah, that somebody said that, but it's homecoming. It's homecoming for Cincinnati this week, so I think they're just doing it for the students. So, I mean, Cincinnati's a team. They deserve it, dude. They're definitely gonna cook Tulsa.
3-5 Tulsa, who has lost, who has beat Arkansas State, which is a Sun Belt team. Two conference wins. Memphis, that's a decent win. If I'm being honest. I don't know how Memphis is honestly playing this year, but rewind 2 or 3 years, that's a good win. 3-5. You got game day. It's a world record. Oh, shouts out Florida Gators. Set a world record. 6 plays losing the game.
Speed run. How to lose to Georgia. Speed run. Florida 2 minutes 16 seconds. Awesome.
Oh my goodness.
Incredible. Just seeing the way Florida fans switched from how their defense was playing to all of a sudden they were just like, oh my god.
How about that? How about that Florida recruiting?
Oh yeah, it's not recruiting season, right, guys?
It's not recruiting season. We can't. My bad. Season. I shouldn't even brought that up. It's not even recruiting season yet.
It's not even.
We in the season right now.
Until the season's over.
We in the season right now.
How do you say? How do you say something like that? Like how are you a football recruit and you just look at what Dan Mullen preaches and how he speaks on his conference? Because I think a coach's image is another thing that can get a player to commit to them, commit to a team. And you look at Dan Mullen, you're like, bro, I don't want to play for Florida. This guy's a clown. Like, how can I actually take this guy serious? He doesn't take himself serious. He says stupid stuff like this. Come on. And let's not forget how long he had Emory Jones starting when he clearly wasn't the best quarterback on that roster. And then you say, okay, we'll let Anthony Richardson start against probably the best defense of the last decade. And when you do something that stupid, the result you get is losing the game in 2 minutes and 16 seconds.
I'm gonna be honest. I seen it on a post on Instagram. They put side by side reference, and it was one slide. It was Dan Mullen saying, "It's the season right now. Don't talk to me about recruiting. It's not recruiting yet. Talk to me when it's recruiting season." And then you swipe over, and it's Kirby Smart talking about something. I think how you win the game is recruiting. You got to just recruit every day. You got to be a good coach at recruiting to win games. And I'm just like, there's the difference. That is why one team is ranked number 1, and that is why one team is going to be 8 in Florida. But anyways, Yeah, I don't know. I just want to talk about
man.
the recruiting stuff with Florida just because I just find it so funny. Because I personally, I think Dan Mullen's a good game coach. And I thought he was going to be a good recruiter for Florida. But this man's talking about something. It's not recruiting season yet. So I guess we will see how good of a recruiter he is when he flips all those guys on signing day.
He's going to do enough to keep Florida decent. But 3 losses, it looks like it's going to be his mojo.
I just want to see what class he has right now. What class does he have?
I think it's 9th in the SEC right now. So that should give you some.
In the SEC.
Yes, sir. And fun fact, I think they have literally they just lost like 3 defensive recruits last week, all 4 stars.
All right, so in the whole country, Florida has a 23rd class. I'm about to tell you some teams that are in front of Florida. 22, we got South Carolina.
Oh my god. Shane Beamer, man.
19, we got 19, we got Georgia Tech. Florida's getting out recruited by Georgia Tech. Let's see. 14, we got the Stanford Cardinals. 13, we got Missouri. 10, we got North Carolina.
Have no coach. Stanford doesn't even have a coach right now, right? Didn't they fire their? Oh, that was USC.
That was TCU. TCU and USC fired their coach. Let's see. I mean, Oregon 5. I mean, a lot of these are expected, but that's just funny how Georgia Tech is out recruiting Florida. Who's on Florida's tail? You got at 26. You got Rutgers. Right behind Florida, you got Kentucky.
Ooh,
that's crazy.
Mark Stoops.
That's just you have Jordan sponsoring your team.
I mean, you're Florida. You're the University of Florida. You know, you got to be better than that. It's just not a good look for you. Shouts out Dan Mullen, though, as a Georgia fan. I hope they give him a nice extension. We'll take him just like we loved Auburn with Gus Malzahn. Gus Malzahn getting fired as a Georgia fan, saddest day of my life.
I mean, they got a better coach now. What's his name? Brian Harsin. I think that's his name.
Yeah.
Came from Boise State. Anyways, hey.
He was in the Problem With video, yeah. Shouts out Brian Harsin.
Top 6 for the power ranking or for the playoff rankings come out for us. The rankings in general came out today. Shocking as you know, as honestly as usual. The rankings are kind of always shocking sometimes. But you know, Oregon, shouts out Oregon, jumping legitimately every good team in the nation except for Georgia and Bama. Shouts out committee for dropping UTSA out of it. Yeah. Let's hope they win that parlay.
UTSA, please.
I'm
not worried about UTSA. What were the teams we were worried about?
I'm not worried about UTSA. I gotta pull up the schedule for this week to really see. I'm gonna be honest.
We got Wake Forest over North Carolina.
Not worried about that.
We got California over Arizona.
I'm a little bit worried
Baylor
about that.
Over TCU.
I'm worried about the California game just because Arizona's lost like 20 straight games. I understand that, but like I just feel like just because I bet on it, this is gonna be the first time Arizona's gonna win, and I just know it. But who else
just
we have?
Just that early gamble guts. Man almost won a 4-game parlay last week, dude. The only thing he lost was saying that Michigan State and Michigan were gonna be under 50.
Yeah, I said on the podcast. I said it was gonna be a low scoring game because I thought defenses would show up, and they just didn't at all. They scored 70 points. It was, oh my goodness. It wasn't as close as the score says it, but like I think I texted you in the first quarter. I was like, they on pace to pass 50 by a lot.
Yep. Neither one of those defenses showed up. Should have thought about that with 2 of the highest rushers in the nation.
Yeah, I really should have. But okay, so Cal over Arizona. We had Baylor over
Auburn
TCU.
Over Texas A&M.
Baylor over TCU. Auburn over Texas A&M.
Tennessee over Kentucky.
Tennessee over Kentucky was that last one?
Yeah, Clemson over Louisville.
Clemson over
UTSA.
UTSA over UTEP.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to wait until like midnight. UTSA and UTEP starts at 10:15.
Jesus.
Yeah, so
it's going to be 11:15.
It's going to be in a very eventful day because let's see, our bets, they start at, let's see, I think it's the Wake Forest game is first. I think our bets start at noon, and end after UTSA UTEP, which starts at 10:15 p.m., which you just said 11:15, so I don't even know. But yeah, let's hope we win that. If we win that, it says paying out over $600.
If Auburn can beat Ole Miss,
they can definitely handle
Texas A&M. They've also they beat Arkansas pretty comfortably. Well, not really, but yeah, they did. So yeah, I look, man, I'm telling you, man, I'd put my fingernails on Auburn. Like, if they lose, you can take
respectfully. Auburn has played Georgia the best out of everyone Georgia's played.
Yeah,
respectfully. Even though they lost,
Auburn put up the best fight. Even though they lost badly, they put up a good fight there. We were losing in that game, so that should give you whatever you need to know.
Exactly.
Only time we've been losing all season. But anyway,
all right.
Sports Junkies, man.
Exactly.
First playoff rankings are out.
Exactly. Yes.
Interesting.
Go ahead and subscribe, like, much appreciated. We're gonna be back here next week, probably either crying or rolling in money.
So I guess we'll start saying the videos will start dropping Tuesday nights then, instead of Monday or Tuesday morning. Tuesday nights, because it wouldn't make sense to drop a video or Sunday or Monday or anything.
The playoff rankings come out Tuesdays.
Yeah, I mean, we could probably drop them Wednesday mornings and still do our weekly wrap up on Monday or something.
Depends on how long we record for. It'd either be Tuesday night or Wednesday morning. This one will probably come out Wednesday morning. Tonight? Ooh, tonight.
It's dropping tonight.
Oh, okay. Like and subscribe. Y'all probably listen to this in 20 minutes. Like and subscribe. 2nd. It's much appreciated. Alrighty. Comment it if you think we was right about our top 6, or the playoff committee was right about their top 6. How you feel about Oregon? Just let us know anything. How you feel about Cincinnati dropping? Should they stay at number 2? Should they drop number 4 like Kid said? Who knows? Anyways, it's been your boy Cam.
Kid.
Peace out.
See you soon.